Hey, it's August 12th, 2021, and welcome to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and we are brought to you by Investor Schooling. If you want to take a complimentary class and learn real estate investing and stock options investing, go to investorschooling.com, and you can take a complimentary class tonight or any Thursday. All right, let's talk to you a little bit about what's going to go on today. So first of all, I'm going to be discussing the Delta variant rattling reopening stocks. Air travel is slowing, or is it? $15 minimum wage. This is a topic that we haven't discussed in a while. Coinbase drops. Let's talk about the recent crypto theft. And this is kind of a humdrum market. Using your HSA as a retirement account. And of course, we're going to talk about some notable earnings such as Disney, Airbnb, and Doordash. And yes, of course, we'll cover some of my favorite picks. So first of all, I actually said that the stock market was humdrum, but we actually broke two records today. The Dow broke a record as well as the S&P broke a record, but literally the Dow broke a record by 5 points, so it wasn't much. It just happened to be there. So let's talk about the Delta variant rattling reopening stocks. So here you go. Nearly 6 in 10 small business owners in the business survey say the new COVID threat is making them shift their business outlook for the rest of 2021. So business owners are starting to get worried. I know I own a couple of businesses, and I'm not worried, but I do notice that there's less people coming in the door. I did notice that there are less things happening, and I think there's a lot of fear going on. A majority of businesses say they can survive under current conditions for more than a year, as few cities and states are resorting to full-scale shutdowns or curfews, and 2/3 of U.S. adults are vaccinated. Yeah, I know it doesn't take long to remember, or not hard to remember what happened last year when they shut the whole world down, and that wasn't great for businesses. It wasn't great for business owners. It wasn't great for people. It wasn't great for anything except, the agenda of the COVID agenda. But look, here's the deal. Luckily, or hopefully, they're not going to do it again, and that'll be fine. So there's an overall small business confidence, and it's measured in a survey of more than 2,000 small business owners, and it was conducted between July 26 and August 3rd. It remains underwater at a score of 45 out of 100, well below its pre-pandemic level of 61 in the first quarter of 2020. That score is unchanged from last quarter's survey, when daily COVID cases rates were about half of what they are now. So there's a couple of things in this sentence, in that paragraph, that bother me. One is the fact that the pre-pandemic level was only 61. So I thought we were having a great year in 2020 until the pandemic hit. And so I'm surprised out of 100, it's only 61. But now we're only at a score of 45, which means it didn't drop that much. So that's interesting too. And then the fact that it hasn't changed since last quarter, when daily COVID cases rates were about half of what they are now. So basically they're saying, hey, COVID cases are coming up. It may actually drop that confidence. Okay, so that's life. One significant advantage now relative to earlier phases of the pandemic is that fewer cities and states are resorting to full-scale shutdowns, as we said before. That means restaurants, hair salons, shops that rely on in-person foot traffic can continue to keep their doors open. So far, consumers are happy to return their pre-pandemic lives. In a Washington Post school poll, 76% say they've eaten indoors in a restaurant, 74% have visited a doctor or dentist's office, and 55% have gotten a haircut in a barbershop or salon within the past 3 months. So out of the people that I'm sorry, but this is just, I find this very funny. Out of the people that they surveyed, only 55% of them gotten a haircut in a barbershop in the last 3 months, and only 75% have visited a doctor's office. That's fine. I get that. And only 76% in a restaurant, but I just found it very comical that only 55% have gotten a haircut. Anyway, fine. Of course, as you know, many venues and concerts and shows have been recently canceled. It's just sad. It really is that all these people thought they would go back to work and they didn't get back to work. New York City, on the other hand, is going to mandate that restaurants, bars, gyms, and other businesses require patrons to show proof of vaccination before coming inside. I'm speechless here, but I just want to make sure that we understand that now they're asking you for proof of vaccine, which I'm not quite sure what a proof of vaccine is. I know that CDC card that we all get when we get our vaccine is a possibility. Will a picture of it be enough? Will a verbal acknowledgement be enough? Anyway, I don't know, but I think that's definitely another form of government overreach, and we'll have to see how that plays out. All right. Air travel and bookings are also slowing down. Now, it's possible that they're slowing down because of the fears of COVID. But I will tell you that this time of year, it's not unusual for air travel and recreational stocks to start to slow down. And the reason is because it's August. It's now August 15th. Kids are going back to school. You're not booking a trip to Disney World in September. You've already either booked your trip and you're going to go next week, or you went already and you're coming back. So this is not unusual for airline stocks to go down right now, but the fear of COVID, of course, is another problem, and of course the vaccine problem. Look, I'll be honest with you, I'm afraid to get on a plane. I'm an anti-mask guy. I'm not necessarily an anti-vaccine guy, just so you understand, but I'm an anti-mask guy. I don't like the idea of wearing a mask. I'm not going to, so I won't get on a plane. So they haven't gotten my money in 2 years because of this. And that's basically what's happening with the air travel. So some people are feeling that they don't want to put their masks on. Some people are feeling that they're going to get thrown out. Some people feel that, I don't know, whatever, that they just don't want to be on an airplane right now, and I'm definitely one of them. And frankly, there are people who are actually fearful of COVID, and if they're fearful of COVID, that means that, once again, they don't want to get on an airplane. So those are all the reasons. All right. So we're going to come back in a couple of minutes, and we're going to talk about some things like minimum wage, the $15 minimum wage. We're going to talk about things like Coinbase dropping, the crypto theft, using your HSA as a retirement account, and of course some notable earnings such as Disney, Airbnb, and Dash. We'll see you in about a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and we've been talking about such things as the Delta variant rattling reopening stocks, air travel slowing, and let's talk a little bit about $15 an hour workers. So minimum wage has actually, if I've got this number right, minimum wage is currently at $7.25 an hour. All right, look, I got to be totally honest with you. I absolutely believe that minimum wage should be raised. I don't know if it should be raised to 15. It doesn't really matter, but there's no reason why minimum wage is only at $7.25 an hour. That actually was the minimum wage from 2009. We're now 10 years later. Should it be raised? Yeah, absolutely. All right, but here's the deal, right? They've been talking about this $15 a minimum wage for a long time now. I've been thinking probably close to 5 years now they've been talking about $15 minimum wage, and it just doesn't seem to happen. Look, the efforts to raise minimum wage have failed earlier this year. Democrats likely will not be able to revisit the issue in the coming months. Still, there are signs that some businesses and states are embracing a higher pay rate. Delaware is actually expected to move to $15 an hour minimum wage, but not until 2025. I believe California and Vegas are also the same, but I don't remember. But anyway, it is what it is. By 2025, Delaware will be moving to $15 an hour. And here's the deal, right? I've said this over the last couple of days, as unemployment is going down, the numbers are going down, as well as people need to hire people. Look, they're offering $15 an hour, so that's automatic. I said that trickle down economics actually works, and here we are. We're in proof of trickle down economics. And the coronavirus is once again casting new attention on the wages and income, because everybody's saying, hey, we need to make more money. Look, whether it's $15 an hour, whether it's $12 an hour, whether it's $20 an hour, we also all know what's going to happen. Prices are going to be raised because of that. I'm going to say it. I'm a capitalist, and that's just the way it is. But as a landlord, I can't wait for $15 an hour because I can raise my rents. I've said it. boo me, give me nasty comments, but that's the truth. That's the reality. The reality is that people are going to be able to spend more money, and they're going to have more money for us, the rich, to get. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Coinbase. Coinbase, as you know, it's one of my favorite picks right now. And Coinbase actually dropped about 22 points sometime today, about 7%. And Bitcoin dropped 7%, and as it slipped below 45,000. Now, I've said this before, and Coinbase is probably becoming a really good opportunity once again, because Coinbase, whenever the cryptos drop, Coinbase seems to drop with them, which is exactly the opposite of what should happen. When cryptos are moving fast, up or down, Coinbase makes a lot of money. Remember that Coinbase makes money on every single sale. So that means that if they're making money every single sale, more people are selling and buying crypto when the numbers go down and when the numbers go up. So watch this. If Bitcoin, for example, drops back to 40,000 and Coinbase goes down to 235, that's going to be a fantastic play. Just wait for it to come back, and it's going to come back. I like the play a lot. I'm actually watching this. By the way, they also had blowout earnings the other day. I mean, the earnings were fantastic the other day. Why would anybody think that Coinbase is going to be a problem? Coinbase doesn't make money on Bitcoin. They make money on the sales of Bitcoin. It's that simple. There was also an interesting crypto theft. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following this, but more than $600 million worth of crypto was stolen in a cyber attack that targeted a decentralized finance platform called Poly Network. Now, there was a flaw, and a hacker exploited the flaw in Poly Network's code to steal the funds. According to a researcher of blockchain security firm, Slow Miss, Poly Network lost more than $610 million in the attack. Now, here's the other thing that they did. Poly actually pleaded with the hacker to return the money, and sure enough, half of it was returned. Now, half of it was returned, which I find funny that only half of it was returned, but the people who stole it actually put in a code somewhere and said they apologized for stealing it and they did it for fun. Well, if they apologized for stealing it and did it for fun, why did they only return half of it? Anyway, it is what it is, but this is the deal. I totally understand this. If I could figure out a way, it isn't necessarily the money that I would want, it's to stand up and brag to my friends how I did it would be more interesting to me than stealing the money. However, I'm sure that these guys aren't bragging to too many people, because if you tell too many people a secret, then it's not a secret anymore. All right, we talked a little bit about the humdrum market. So basically, the market's not really moving much. I know it broke a record today, but there's not really much going on right now. We have lower volume. We're seeing basically the S&P is just kind of sitting there. The Dow is sitting there. Again, it broke a record, but it didn't break a record by a lot. So just know that it's going to happen. It's not going to be, it's going to slow down a little bit, but wait for it. Just wait for it. Play your plays the way you play your plays. If you're like me, I make charts of when I'm going to buy stuff. Like I talked about before, I talked about Coinbase. I have a chart that says buy Coinbase at 235. I also have another chart that says buy more Robinhood. Now, Robinhood was at, if you remember, Robinhood was at 50. I said 50 last time. And if it went below 50, I was going to buy some. I did. Now I have another chart that says if it goes below 42, I'm going to add to the position. Because I think Robinhood is a great play. I don't know about you guys, but I have an HSA. That's a health savings account. And if you don't have a health savings account, you want one. You absolutely want one. This is one of the greatest, I don't know, you can call it a tax loophole, or you could call it a retirement benefit. I don't care what you do with it. But if you have a high deductible savings health insurance plan, then you could create a health savings account. They were introduced in 2003, and they were originally created to incentivize saving for medical expenses for those in a high deductible plan. So for example, if your deductible is, I don't know, let's say it's $5,000 a year, and they're saying, hey, you could put money away and use that towards your deductible, and that money that you put away is, number one, it's tax deductible, and it's also tax-free when you pull it out if you use it for medical expenses. So you never have to pay taxes on it if you do that. Now, here's the interesting part, too. A lot of people don't realize that any medical expense, and check with your accountant just to double-check this, but any medical expense, including, I don't know, personal care, like toothbrushes, can be deducted through that money. So when you eventually take the money back out, you're not paying taxes on anything that you paid for that you used personal grooming. So it actually works out really, really well. For a single person, you can contribute $3,600 tax deductible, or for a married couple, you can do $7,200 family coverage, $7,200, and that is this year's numbers. All right, we're going to take another quick break, but I want to talk to you a little bit about this quick break because I think it's a lot of fun. My partner and I are giving away his car. He has a beautiful Z4 convertible BMW. And if you watch this video, you'll understand what we're talking about. And hopefully, you'll win his car. See you in a couple minutes.
Hey, if you were listening to Investor Schooling Live today, I'm Phil Falcone, and I made the decision today on air that I'm going to be giving away this car. You want to take a look at it? Let's do it. How would you like to pop your top without ever getting out of the car? Huh? It's pretty cool. You can do it at a red light. You can do it when you see it rainy. You can actually even do it when you're driving, as long as you don't go maybe faster than 10 miles an hour. So I am giving away this car. Why? Is it because I'm crazy? Is it because I'm rich? Is it because of both? Take your pick. I don't care. Let me tell you about the car. We're going to have a contest. We're looking for real estate investors to go to our website and give us a real estate tip. And you can have people that you know vote on the site about which real estate tip is the most quality, most valuable to them. So let's just say that our contest is going to be looking for quality real estate tips and for votes. So you need to get your friends, your family, people who care about you, and real estate investors who are willing to go on the site and vote for it. And I will give you this car.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. We are brought to you by Investor Schooling, and if you just watched, you can win Phil's car. I think you should go to win Phil's car right now, and you should actually absolutely try to win Phil's car. All right, so far today, we've been talking about the Delta variant rattling reopening stocks. Air travel is slowing, maybe. We talked about $15 minimum wage and why I actually believe it should be raised. I don't know to 15, but it should be raised. We talked about the fact that Coinbase dropped and it might be a buying opportunity. We talked about the $600 million cryptocurrency theft and a humdrum market. And of course, we also talked about the fact that you should have a health savings account and use that as a retirement account. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in earnings right now. We got Disney that just announced their earnings, and I really like it. Disney announced their earnings, and Disney beat expectations across the board. Here we go. So the earnings per share were 80 cents versus 55 cents. That's phenomenal. The revenue was $17 billion versus $16.76 billion. Boom, boom, boom. The company also beat on subscriber estimates for Disney Plus, coming in at 116 million. Street Account estimated the company report 114.5 million subscribers in the third quarter. The segment had 103.6 million in its fiscal second quarter. Average monthly revenue per subscriber dipped 10% year over year to $4.16. Who cares? You know why I went to $4.16? Because some people are giving it away the first year. That's why. It's fantastic. So the parks obviously have been opening. Now, the problem with parks is, once again, they're starting to do the mass BS again, but it is what it is. The parks are reopening, and everything is coming back. We know that the movies are coming back. We know that Disney Plus is a big thing. So, sure enough, Disney, a fantastic company. I'm waiting to see some of the other earnings. I haven't seen them yet. I'm waiting to see what will happen with Airbnb and Doordash. Maybe we'll get that before the show ends. But let's talk a little bit about some of my picks today. Some of my picks today are still, as usual, the travel stocks. I know we lost a buck today on the AAL, but hey, it is what it is. I think it's a good play. I think it's a good play tomorrow. I think you should definitely get into it. CCL, RCL, we talked about that as well. Now, look, gold and silver have dropped. Now, I'm a big fan of gold and silver. In fact, silver hasn't been below 25 in a very long time, and all of a sudden it's down to 23.5. It doesn't make me worried. It gets me annoyed. But it doesn't make me worried. I know it's a play, and there are some ETFs like SLV and JNUG that I believe will be good plays if you want to play them and hold them out. as far as covered calls go, they may actually be a great covered call because the numbers are so low. And once again, we also saw Apple today. We saw Apple and Facebook both pop. Apple was up at one point. It was up about 3 points. And I think Facebook was up somewhere near 1.5 or $1.75, somewhere near there today. Also great plays. All right. And then we also said that Coinbase dropped about 22 points. And once again, I think that's an awesome play. I'm looking for 235 as a stock options trader. I'm looking for 235, but understand that at 250, 255, where it is now, it's not a bad trade. It's just not a bad. It's not a bad play because you're going to probably be holding on to it for the long run. So those are good plays as well. All right, I'm just going to check real quick to see if we got anything on Airbnb, but I don't think it came out yet. Maybe it did because they dropped 5 points after hours, so it's possible. Airbnb revenues jumped 300%, but the company is warning about Delta variant. All right, this to me is a play. Okay, so here you go. So if they're up 300%, which is fantastic, right? And they're worrying about the Delta variant, that means that this stock is going to rock. Because the Delta variant is eventually going to go away. It's either going to affect everyone, or it's going to move away, right? So there you go. So I believe that Airbnb is actually a really, really good play. Let me see real quick if we can get the last one, which is Doordash. See if they announced theirs yet. And if they did, I'll tell you about it. If not, we'll talk about it tomorrow. It looks like they didn't do so well because they're down about 7 points so far. I don't have the numbers, but it is what it is. All right. Anyway, I'm Larry Steinhouse. This is Money Chat Now. And of course, once again, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thank you for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support. Please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. Please tell all your friends about this, and please subscribe. Thank you very much.